Welcome to another video of Food Nourish Deep Dives, the videocast of foodnourish.net, where we explore topics like health, food, supplements, and alternative approaches to health and wellness. Today, we're tackling one of the most researched, yet somehow one of the most misunderstood supplements on the entire planet, creatine. I want you to forget everything you think you know because we're about to uncover the real science that goes way, way beyond the gym. Yeah, when you hear the word creatine, this is probably the picture that pops into your head, right? And look, it's not totally wrong. It is insanely popular in the fitness world for a reason. But focusing only on that misses the entire point of what creatine really is and what it can do for pretty much everyone. So let's just get this out of the way right now. Creatine is not a steroid. It's not some synthetic, lab-created drug. It's a completely natural compound that your own body produces in your liver, your kidneys, and your pancreas. It's a fundamental piece of your energy system. You know, thinking of it as just a muscle powder is kind of like thinking of water as something only marathon runners should drink. It's for everybody. Okay, so to really get why creatine is such a game changer, we have to zoom in. I mean, way in. Down to the microscopic level, to the very engine room of your body's energy production. Every single thing you do, from blinking your eyes to lifting a heavy weight, is powered by one single, crucial molecule. ATP. The easiest way to think about ATP is like cellular cash. It's the currency your body spends to get anything done. But here's the catch, and it's a big one. You have a tiny, tiny budget. Your body only stores enough of this ATP cash for about 8 to 10 seconds of all-out maximum effort. After that, your cellular wallet is empty. You hit a wall, and you have to slow down. So how do you keep going when the tank runs dry after 10 seconds? Well, this is where creatine enters the story as the hero. See, most of the creatine in your body is stored as something called phosphocreatine. When you burn through your ATP, turning it into a useless form called ADP, phosphocreatine swoops in, literally donates a piece of itself, and instantly recharges that ADP right back into usable ATP. It's like having a power bank that recharges your phone from 1% to 100% in a split second, letting you keep going at full throttle. And that right there is the entire reason to supplement with it. By taking extra creatine, you can pack your cells with 10 to 40% more of these phosphocreatine power banks. This gives both your muscles and, as we're about to see, your brain, a much bigger fuel tank to draw from. This single mechanism is the foundation for every single benefit we're about to talk about. All right, so we've covered the how. Now, let's get to the fun part, the what. What are the actual benefits of the cellular recharge system? Because they extend way beyond the gym into places that might really surprise you. Of course, we have to start with its claim to fame athletic performance. And the data here is just undeniable. A huge meta-analysis, which is basically a study of studies, found that on average, creatine boosts strength by 8% and explosive power by a whopping 14% compared to a placebo. This is exactly why it's so popular with athletes. It just flat out works. But trust me, this is just the tip of the iceberg. Now get ready for a wild fact. Your brain, which is only about 2% of your body weight, is an energy hog. It burns through about 20% of your body's total energy every single day, all of it in the form of ATP. So if creatine is the master of regenerating ATP, what do you think that means for your brain? You got it. It means a serious cognitive boost. Study after study has shown that supplementing with creatine can improve your working memory, lead to better scores on intelligence tests, and dramatically reduce mental fatigue. This is especially true when you're stressed out or sleep deprived, because that's when your brain is screaming for more energy. There's even some really promising research looking at its ability to protect the brain after an injury. I absolutely love this quote because it just connects the dots perfectly. You know that feeling of hitting a mental wall in the afternoon? That brain fog? That's your brain literally running low on cellular energy. And the exact same ATP recycling system that helps you grind out one more rep at the gym is what helps you push through a tough mental task when you're exhausted. So we've established that it's good for your muscles and it's good for your brain. But let's get even more specific, because you might be watching this thinking, well, I'm not a pro athlete or a student cramming for finals. The truth is, creatine has some really targeted benefits for just about everyone. Okay, for women, let's just bust the biggest myth right now, the fear of getting bulky. Physiologically, it's just not going to happen. Instead, creatine helps support high-intensity training that leads to a lean, toned physique. But beyond that, research is pointing to some really interesting benefits for mood regulation and, this is a big one, helping to preserve crucial bone mineral density after menopause, especially when it's paired with resistance training. And for seniors, creatine is an incredibly powerful tool against something called sarcopenia. That's the age-related muscle loss that's a huge factor in losing independence. Studies show that when older adults combine creatine with training, they build more lean mass and get significantly stronger. And that translates directly to real life, being able to get out of a chair easily, carry your own groceries, and all while helping to keep your mind sharp. Now, for vegetarians and vegans, this is borderline essential. The only way to get creatine from food is through meat and fish. So if you're on a plant-based diet, your baseline creatine stores are naturally 20 to 30% lower. This means when you do supplement, the effects are often way more dramatic. You become a super responder. For this group, it's less about optimization and more about filling a really significant nutritional gap. Okay, before we dive into the nuts and bolts of how to actually use it, just a quick note. If you're looking for supplements from brands you can trust, you should check out foodnourish.net/deals. We've gathered discounts from major wellness companies like Perpetual Life, iHerb, Source Naturals, Nootropics Depot, and Bioptimizers. The link for that is waiting for you in the description below. All right, we've covered the why. Now let's get practical with the how. This is your quick start guide to using creatine the right way, safely and effectively. And we have to start by clearing up a few stubborn myths that just won't go away. Let's just run through these rapid fire. Myth 1, it's bad for your kidneys. False. Dozens of long-term studies in healthy people show it's perfectly safe. Myth 2, it makes you go bald. Nope, that idea comes from a single study from 2009 that has never ever been replicated. All the major reviews find no consistent link. Myth 3, it causes bloating. Misleading. The water it pulls is inside your muscle cells, which is a good thing for performance, not under your skin. And finally, you have to cycle it. Totally unnecessary. Your body doesn't build up a tolerance to it. So, how much do you actually take? Well, you've basically got two choices. There's the loading phase, which gets you results faster but can sometimes lead to an upset stomach. Honestly, the recommended approach, especially if you're just starting, is the simple maintenance dose. Just 3 to 5 grams a day. Yeah, it takes a little longer to fully saturate your muscles, about 3 or 4 weeks, but it's much easier on your system and way easier to stick with long-term. Here is your dead simple daily plan. First, the dose, 3 to 5 grams of creatine monohydrate. Stick with monohydrate, it's the most researched, most effective, and usually the cheapest form. Second, timing. Don't stress about it. Taking it consistently every day is way more important than when you take it. Just find a time that you'll remember. Third, hydration. Drink a little extra water since creatine does pull water into your muscles. And finally, mixing. It dissolves great in some warm water, or you can just toss it into your daily protein shake. It's really that easy. So, after all that science, all those benefits, let's bring it all home and completely reframe how we should be thinking about this amazing compound. This right here is the main takeaway. It's time to stop thinking about creatine as just a bodybuilding supplement. It's not. It's for anyone and everyone who wants their body and their brain to operate with a fully charged battery. This is about optimizing the foundational energy system that powers literally everything you do, all day long. So I'll leave you with this question to chew on. Now that you know it helps everything from your brain to your bones, which one of these benefits was the biggest surprise to you? Was it the cognitive boost, the powerful effects for healthy aging, or maybe how crucial it is for plant-based diets? Let us know down in the comments which one really caught you off guard. Goodbye, listeners, and thanks for joining this deep dive. You can find links to all the studies and resources we talked about in the video's description. If you found this useful, do us a favor and hit that like button. It really helps the channel grow. And be sure to subscribe so you never miss another video. We'll see you in the next one.